Alone, focused, unstoppable, there comes a time in every person's life when the noise of the world becomes too loud, when the opinions of others start drowning your own inner voice, when you begin to question yourself because the crowd stopped clapping. That's the moment you must embrace solitude, not as a punishment, but as your secret weapon. Alone isn't lonely when you know why you're there. Alone is where focus is born, and focus is the birthplace of the unstoppable. You see, success is never built in public. It's forged behind closed doors, in the silence where nobody is watching, where nobody is cheering, where nobody believes but you. The greatest victories are prepared in the quiet, when you're alone with your ambition, your hunger, and your discipline. That's where transformation happens. The world loves distractions. It wants you to scroll. It wants you to settle. It wants you to quit the moment it gets hard. But the unstoppable ones, they don't break. They isolate. They channel that solitude into focus so sharp, it cuts through doubt, cuts through fear, cuts through every excuse standing in their way. Alone doesn't mean abandoned. It means chosen. It means you've chosen to invest in yourself when others chose comfort. It means you're training while they're sleeping, planning while they're partying, building while they're complaining. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. Focus is not something you find, it's something you build. You build it by saying no when others say yes. You build it by staying disciplined when distractions scream your name. You build it by remembering that your vision is worth more than temporary pleasure. Unstoppable is not a gift, it's a consequence. It's what happens when you stack discipline on discipline, sacrifice on sacrifice, day after day, until quitting is no longer in your vocabulary. It's what happens when you become so committed to your purpose that the world has no choice but to move out of your way. So be alone, not because you have to, but because it's where your power grows. Be focused, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to rise. And become unstoppable, not because you were born with it, but because you built it with your own two hands. The world doesn't remember the ones who blended in. It remembers the ones who are willing to stand alone, stay focused, and become unstoppable. Embrace solitude as your training ground. There's a reason the greatest breakthroughs don't happen in crowded rooms. They happen in silence. Solitude is not your enemy. It is your edge. When the noise disappears, your vision becomes sharper. Your thoughts become clearer, your drive becomes louder. Most people fear being alone because it forces them to confront themselves. But that's exactly where transformation starts. Face to face with your weaknesses, your fears, your unspoken doubts. Alone, you see who you really are without the applause, without the masks, without the filters. Greatness doesn't bloom in chaos, it's cultivated in discipline. Solitude gives you the space to work when no one else is willing, to rehearse when the world is sleeping, to build the version of yourself that the future demands. Every minute alone is a brick in the foundation of your legacy. While they're chasing company, you're building capacity. While they're lost in conversations, you're found in concentration. While they seek approval, you're seeking evolution. In that silence, your craft sharpens, your body recovers, your mind strengthens. You start creating without validation, moving without permission, preparing without distraction. The crowd loves to celebrate success, but rarely respects the isolation it takes to get there. You're not supposed to be understood right now. That's the price of being ahead of your time. Your training ground isn't supposed to be glamorous. It's supposed to be quiet, repetitive, and relentless. Because it's not about the atmosphere, it's about the work you do in it. Those hours alone, early mornings, late nights, cold rooms, empty gyms. Those are the hours that give you an unfair advantage. They create a version of you that the world won't be ready for until it's too late. When you embrace solitude, you stop waiting for support. You become your own motivator, your own critic, your own standard, and that's when you become dangerous. Alone, you stop asking, "Who's with me?" and start asking, "How far can I go?" Alone, you stop chasing comfort and start chasing greatness. Your solitude is the seed. Protect it. Water it with discipline. Guard it from distractions, because one day that seed will grow into something the world can't ignore. While they call it lonely, you'll call it preparation. While they call it strange, you'll call it strategy. While they call it sacrifice, you'll call it the start. Greatness doesn't ask for company, it asks for commitment. And commitment thrives in the moments when no one is watching, when you're just a name and a dream, alone in the dark, building the unstoppable force they'll one day see in the light. Cut distractions before they cut your future. Every distraction you entertain is a blade slicing through your potential. It doesn't take an enemy to stop you. It takes a habit you refuse to cut. The world is full of noise designed to keep you average. Endless scrolling, meaningless conversations, fake urgency. Distractions don't always look dangerous. Most times they look comfortable. They come disguised as friends, trends, or temporary pleasures. But every second you give them is a second you steal from your own destiny. Your future is not being destroyed by massive disasters. It's being eroded by small distractions you keep forgiving. Every delay, every wasted hour, every just this once adds up until momentum dies. The disciplined don't hate fun. They just prioritize purpose. They know the cost of attention and they spend it wisely, because what you focus on grows and what you ignore fades. Cutting distractions is an act of war against mediocrity. It's telling the world, I choose to build, not to scroll. I choose to rise, not to waste. Every distraction is a thief dressed as comfort. It steals your prime years, your prime energy, your prime chances. And once they're gone, they don't come back. Your mind is a battlefield. Notifications are the bullets. Trends are the traps. Comfort is the poison. Only focus builds the armor that keeps your future safe. The moment you decide that your dreams deserve more than your distractions, you become dangerous, because now you're no longer fighting the world. You're fighting your old self. Cutting distractions is not about saying no to the world. It's about saying yes to your destiny. It's not punishment, it's alignment. Look at your day and ask, what steals my time without building my future? Then cut it, not reduce it. Cut it ruthlessly, because every minute matters. The unstoppable are not the most talented. They are the least distracted. They don't let small pleasures sabotage big missions. Distractions are easy. Discipline is hard. But discipline builds what distractions destroy. Consistency, clarity, confidence. Every time you say no to a distraction, you sharpen your focus. Every time you stay on track, you speed up your progress. Your future is waiting, but only if you stop wasting your present on things that don't matter. Discipline is the fuel of unstoppable momentum. Discipline is not punishment, it's power. It's the force that carries you when motivation dies, when energy fades, when the crowd disappears. It's the backbone of every champion, the invisible thread connecting effort to excellence. Motivation is loud but temporary. Discipline is quiet but permanent. It doesn't need applause to show up. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't negotiate with excuses. Every act of discipline deposits energy into your future. Every day you stick to the plan, even when it hurts, you build momentum that doesn't break easily. Discipline is the only friend that never betrays you. It doesn't flatter you with lies. It demands your best, and in return, it makes you unshakable. The world wants instant results. Discipline wants daily effort. That's why most people quit. They want glory without the grind. Momentum is born from consistency, not intensity. It's not about one hard day. It's about many disciplined days stacked together until movement becomes unstoppable. Discipline builds habits, and habits build identity. Soon you're no longer someone who tries. You're someone who does. The disciplined don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" They ask, "What needs to be done?" Feelings are visitors. Discipline is the landlord. Your greatest breakthroughs won't come from what you do once. They'll come from what you repeat relentlessly. Discipline doesn't take your freedom. It gives you control. Control over your future, your mind, your potential. Each disciplined decision is a brick. Each sacrifice is a beam. Each day you show up as another layer in the skyscraper you're building. When you stop negotiating with yourself, you start accelerating. When you stop skipping the small steps, you start climbing the big mountains. The undisciplined wait for inspiration. The disciplined create it. Your dream is not waiting for motivation. It's waiting for discipline to knock at its door every day until it opens. Your vision requires sacrifice. Others won't make vision is expensive. Everyone wants the view from the top, but few want to pay the price of climbing the mountain. Your vision will demand sacrifices that comfort lovers will never understand. You can't carry old habits up a new mountain. Some friendships won't survive your journey. Some comforts will have to be buried along the way. Not because you hate them, but because they weigh more than your future can carry. Sacrifice is not loss, it's leverage. Every time you give up something easy, you gain something lasting. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you add strength to your future. People will call you extreme because you're not living like them. They'll call you distant because you're not wasting time with them. But visionaries are not built to blend in. They're built to break through. Sacrifice is lonely because it's rare. Most people want the shortcut. You want the summit. That's why your path looks empty. It's the road less traveled. Your vision doesn't care how comfortable you are. It only responds to how committed you are. Commitment means saying no to what's convenient, even when it hurts. The sacrifices you make today are the seeds of the freedom you'll harvest tomorrow. Sleep less now to rest easy later. Grind harder now to breathe easier later. Sacrifice builds resilience. When you stop indulging every craving, you start controlling your destiny. When you stop chasing easy wins, you start collecting real ones. Every excuse is a brick in the wall that blocks your vision. Every sacrifice is a hammer that breaks that wall down. People won't see the nights you worked. They'll only see the results you own. That's the beauty of sacrifice. It speaks silently at first, then it roars. Your future will never ask how comfortable your past was. It will ask how committed you were. The unstoppable don't measure what they lost. They measure what they gained by letting go. Sacrifice is the proof you believed in something greater than your impulses. Your vision is waiting at the top of the hill, but only if you're willing to climb without the baggage that others refuse to drop. Silence the noise. Your focus is your weapon. The loudest voices are often the most meaningless. The world shouts opinions, distractions, and fears into your ears every day. But focus thrives in silence. It's in the quiet where strategies are born and greatness is built. Noise is seductive because it feels like connection, but it's really chaos. It pulls you away from your lane, drowns your intuition, and scatters your energy. Your focus is a weapon, and every time you hand it over to noise, you disarm yourself. The world wants your attention, not your success. Silence is not weakness, it's a shield. It keeps you from reacting to every voice, every trend, every opinion that doesn't build your future. Focus doesn't chase noise, it eliminates it. It doesn't argue with doubters, it ignores them. It doesn't explain, it executes. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they give their focus to too many things at once. They become professional starters, but amateur finishers. The unstoppable build walls around their focus. They protect it like treasure because they know it's the only currency that multiplies over time. Every hour you protect from noise is an hour you give to mastery. Every distraction you silence is a step closer to dominance. Noise is temporary. Legacy is permanent. Don't trade permanence for volume. Silence is the space where creativity breathes, where strategy sharpens, where doubt dissolves. Focus doesn't need an audience, it needs discipline. It thrives when no one's clapping. The world will keep shouting. Your job is to keep building. When the results come, they'll speak louder than the noise ever did. Focus is the bridge between vision and reality. Guard it with everything you've got. When you stop feeding the noise, you start feeding your greatness. Build strength in isolation. Unleash it in the world. The gym may be empty. The office may be quiet. The world may not be watching. But those empty spaces are where legends are made. Isolation is not a pause, it's preparation. Strength is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows, where no applause exists, where no validation comes. It's where you lift when no one's counting, where you grind when no one's watching. Isolation is not weakness, it's concentration. It removes the clutter so you can see what needs to be done, who you need to become, and how far you're willing to go. The world loves the performance but ignores the rehearsal. They see the victory but skip the sacrifice. Your strength grows when comfort dies. It grows when you choose to keep moving while the world sleeps, when you choose progress over popularity. Every rep in isolation builds a version of you that doesn't flinch in pressure. Every lonely night adds weight to your character. The unstoppable understand that the stage is not the time to start preparing. It's the time to start revealing what preparation has already built. Isolation is not a prison for the driven. It's a laboratory. It's where you test, refine, and rebuild until excellence becomes your baseline. When you unleash that strength into the world, it looks like magic to them. But you know it's not magic, it's math. Hours invested, sacrifices multiplied, discipline compounded. The crowd will ask, where did this come from? You'll know, it came from the quiet places they never dared to visit. Strength is earned in the places where nobody claps. It's revealed in the places where everyone does. Isolation is the training ground. The world is the battlefield. One prepares you for the other. When the lights come on, it's too late to start building. You either have the strength or you don't. So when the room is empty, stay. When the world is silent, work. When nobody notices, keep going. That's where the real power is forged. Consistency creates the unstoppable version of you. Consistency beats intensity every time. A burst of effort can impress people, but only consistent effort transforms you. The unstoppable don't show up once. They show up always, not just when it feels right, not just when it's convenient, always. Consistency is boring to the uncommitted. It's exciting to the determined. It's the daily deposits that make your dreams too expensive for failure to afford. One day of greatness won't change your life. 1,000 days of consistency will. The world glorifies moments. Champions glorify habits. They don't chase peaks. They build plateaus and keep climbing. Consistency doesn't demand perfection. It demands presence. Even on bad days, even on tired days, even on I don't feel like it days. Every consistent action is a vote for your future. Each one says, I am building something bigger than my excuses. Momentum loves consistency. It compounds every time you show up when others quit. The best don't win because they have the most energy. They win because they master the art of never disappearing. Consistency teaches you resilience. It makes discipline automatic. It turns effort into instinct. The unstoppable are rarely the most talented. They are the most reliable. You can count on them because they count on themselves. Every skipped day is a debt you'll have to repay later. Every consistent day is interest earned on your destiny. You can't buy consistency, you can only build it. One choice at a time, one day at a time, until it becomes who you are. Consistency is not what you do when it's easy. It's what you do when everything in you says stop. One day, your results will speak louder than their doubts. Doubt is loud when results are silent. People will question your moves, mock your pace, dismiss your dreams, until your results arrive. Results are the language everyone understands. They don't argue with them. They can't ignore them. They can't rewrite them. While they talk, you build. While they guess, you grind. While they wait for proof, you become the proof. Every day you show up, you're writing the story that their words will one day be forced to read. Results are not given, they're grown. Each rep, each hour, each sacrifice waters the seed. Doubters feed on delay. They get louder the longer you hesitate, but every result silences 1,000 opinions. You don't need to convince them, you need to outlast them. The unstoppable don't argue, they execute. They don't beg for belief, they build undeniable evidence. One day, the same people who question your choices will quote your results. Every failure you turn into a lesson adds weight to your credibility. Every milestone you hit adds silence to their noise. Results are the ultimate reply. They require no caption, no defense, no justification. The world respects what it can't deny. Give them something they can't deny. When your results speak, their doubts die. When your consistency shows, their noise fades. So stop explaining. Start building. Because when the scoreboard lights up, nobody remembers the critics. They remember the one who kept going. Every journey to greatness starts with a decision to walk alone if you must, to focus when it's easier to drift, to stay relentless when quitting feels comfortable. The world will try to pull you in 100 directions, but only one path leads to your highest self. The path you carve when nobody else believes in the vision you carry. You have to stop waiting for applause. Stop waiting for company. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. That moment is now. This is where the noise ends and the clarity begins. The people you think you need, they won't climb the mountain for you. The distractions you entertain, they won't pay your future bills. The excuses you keep alive, they won't build your legacy. Greatness is lonely, but it's never empty, because the solitude you choose today becomes the strength you unleash tomorrow. The discipline you embrace today becomes the momentum that carries you through storms. The sacrifices you make today become the freedom you'll live with for a lifetime. One day, the lights will shine, and the world will wonder how you did it. They'll talk about your wins, your moments, your unstoppable force, but you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was focus. It was sacrifice. It was the courage to walk alone when everyone else chose the crowd. So when you step out of this moment, don't look for permission. Don't ask who's coming with you. Don't wait for a hand to pull you forward. Be the hand. Be the mover. Be the one who didn't stop when it was hard, didn't fold when it was quiet, didn't quit when the world went silent. Alone doesn't make you weak. It makes you clear. Focus doesn't make you obsessed. It makes you unstoppable, and unstoppable isn't a title you earn, it's a standard you live by. From this day on, let them doubt, let them whisper, let them sleep, because you've got work to do. And when you rise, when the results come, when the world finally notices, you'll be too far ahead to hear their noise.